I'm rather fond of this colour. Perhaps Mr. Shoulder and I share similar taste. Mr. Shoulder? Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
Maybe try again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
Mr. Shoulder, are you home? It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home. Curses.
Perhaps you could try the handle.
It's locked. That glove looks familiar. I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow. The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me?
No sign of life?
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned.
Perhaps he's gone for a stroll.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to at the church. Shall I accompany you back to Bewley?
Let's go.
As I say, my child, Mr. Shoulder will make himself known. Do not lose faith.
I'm rather frustrated by this situation.
Now. Things move at a slower pace out here. Something you may not be so accustomed to. Come now, Miss Bateman.
Well, Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bewley, and now you're nowhere to be found. As we trudged silently back to Bewley across those cold moors, I made a new resolution. I would find Hobbs Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth.
Kenneth?
My assistant.
I see. Well, Miss Bateman, I really must attend to some other matters. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Romeo and Juliet?
Correct. That I shall say good night, till it be morrow. Lord be with you.
I should go meet Kenneth at the station. Where is Kenneth? He was supposed to wait for me at the station. Mr. Tillett, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman. I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up in my bed this morning with my wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
I'm looking for my assistant, Kenneth.
Oh, aye?
His train has arrived.
Not a single soul disembarked the last train, Miss Bateman.
Impossible. About last night. What were you going to tell me about Leonard Shoulder?
Who?
Leonard Shoulder. You told me you knew him. And promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink. Which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
I don't really know the old bugger.
But you said you did.
Oh, aye. No, I know naught about him. No, naught about Leonard Shoulder.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett. I don't believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
A likely story.
Look, what would I gain from lying to you? I just wanted another drink.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
Aye, I don't remember out.
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bewley. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, aye. I heard about a Hobbs Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
I can't remember.
Mr. Tillett, please, this is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman. I'll try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
That's if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.
So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley Station Master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
Was that not the midday train from London by way of Derby?
Aye, it were. Mr. Price were here, unloaded a few crates.
But no Kenneth.
Not a soul. Hold on. One of them crates had your name on it, Miss Bateman. A great big one it were, with...
A red ribbon.
Aye.
What is Kenneth playing at, sending my equipment but not himself? Curses. Where is my crate now?
Mr. Price took away all the crates on his cart.
Who?
Mr. Price, he's the postmaster.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom, just north of the plough and furrow. You'll see it. There's a Royal Mail plaque on the wall.
Thank you. Farewell for now.
Ta-ra.
Good day, little one. What's your name?
Wally took Myrtle.
Pardon?
He took her and ran off. I hate him.
Is Myrtle one of your dolls?
Yes, my favourite. Mummy made her for me. She's so beautiful. Wally is the worst brother in the whole world.
I'm sorry to hear that. What is your name, little one?
Jane.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jane. My name is Thomasina. Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
I have, yes.
You have?
We aren't supposed to talk about it.
Why not?
Would you like to go there?
Yes, I would very much like to.
I'll tell you where it is if you find Myrtle for me.
You will?
Yes! But don't tell anyone about it or I'll be told off.
I promise.
Please find Myrtle first. I miss her.
I will. Why did your brother take Myrtle away?
He's just jealous because Daddy is letting me come with him to the market tomorrow. Wally thinks I'm Daddy's favourite, so he took Myrtle from me. What if he rips her to tatters? What if he feeds her to Mr. Bryden's goat?
Don't worry, Jane. I'm sure he wouldn't do such a thing. Where did your brother go?
I don't know. Home, maybe. But I have to wait here for Myrtle's friends to dry out.
Do you know an old man called Leonard Shoulder?
No, miss.
Your dolls look lovely, Jane.
Thank you, miss. I love them very much. Today was their bath day.
Where do you live?
Our home is on the other side of the village, miss. Maybe Wally went back there. Or maybe he's left her out on the moors. Poor Myrtle. I'm going to kick him so hard.
This is a lovely little beck.
It's where we get our water, miss. It's good for drinking and cleaning.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
I shall see you later this evening, gents. Well, I say. Greetings, my dear.
Hello, sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
Wait. Some nerve.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most certainly am not.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
Let me pass.
Not today, by order of Lord Panswick. Now get back before you find yourself under a falling tree. There's nought even down there.
You're not going to let me pass, are you?
Now she gets it.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
Do you know where I can find a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Never heard of it.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
It sounded like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
Who is Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away, but his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors. Now please leave us to our work.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? We're chopping down trees.
There is no need to be sarcastic.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
Why are you gathering logs for Lord Panswick?
By heck, you ask a lot of questions. If you must know, his lordship is repairing an old ruin on his land. We need the timber for the restoration work.
How intriguing. What type of ruin is Lord Panswick restoring?
An old chapel.
I should rather like to see it.
Not possible. His lordship does not welcome visitors to his estate.
And these are his woods?
Aye, his lordship owns most of the lands around these parts.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting. What is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning. Come back then if you want to explore the woods.
Hello there, my name's Thomasina.
Yeah?
What's yours?
Wally?
Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
No?
Jane tells me you've taken Myrtle away.
And what if I did?
That's a bit mean, don't you think?
She kicked me! Look at this bruise on my leg!
That does look quite bad. Why did she kick you?
Because she's a little goblin. You don't know what she can be like. Besides, Myrtle is gone now. I've given her to the fair folk. That'll teach her.
Who are the fair folk?
The little people of the moors. I gave Myrtle to them.
Little people? You don't mean fairies, do you?
We call them fair folk round here.
Wally, there is no such thing as fairies.
It's two, and I gave them a doll.
Where can I find...
Follow the tinkle of their tiny bells. I hear them when the wind dies. They dance around their little house.
But where is this little house?
Just listen for the bells, you'll find it. Don't think about bringing that doll back. That'll just bring bad luck for all of us.
What do you know about Lord Panswick?
I heard he owns the whole county.
Have you met him?
No, he lives out on the moors somewhere. But everyone does what he tells them to.
Why's that?
'Cause he has a lot of money.
Goodbye. Good day.
Hello, miss.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Thomasina, please stop leaving your toys lying about the place. What happened the last time you left your dolly under the tree?
A fox ate it, madame.
Yes, it did. Fetch it now, won't you? Then I'll fix your supper.
Yes, madame. There you are, Josephine. I won't let the foxes eat you.
Who's that you have there, little bird?
Josephine. She introduced me to the fairies.
Oh, fairies, you say?
Yes, Daddy.
Do you believe in fairies?
Of course. Do you see those mushrooms over there?
Yes.
That's the gateway to their kingdom. That's where Josephine and I go to talk to the fairies.
Now, listen to me, Thomasina.
Yes?
You're old enough now to hear this. There's no such thing as fairies or talking dolls, my little bird.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, my dear child. I do not wish to upset you. I just want to make sure that you understand the difference between fantasy and reality. Josephine is just a doll, and fairies do not exist.
But, Daddy...
Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition. Please always remember that. If you hear anything about fairies or the like again, know that it's hogwash. What is it?
Hogwash. Did Wally bury the doll, I wonder? This must be Jane's ragdoll. Perhaps these wriggling worms are the fair folk young Wally was so fearful of. How strange. There is a hairpin pierced through the arm. This may come in handy. I'll keep it. At least I shall not return from Bewley empty-handed. I present to you Myrtle.
Myrtle! I missed you so much.
Now, I believe we had a deal.
Hide and seek.
Come back! It's in moments like these I thank myself for not having children. Hey! Jane? Jane, get out of there. Don't make me come in. Fine. Curses. The hole is too small for me to fit through. I was always happiest with a trowel in my hand, uncovering hidden worlds within the earth itself, clod by clod. That should do it. Jane! Jane? Jane? I can't see a damned thing in here. I need a light source. That must be the Postmaster's storeroom. Hello.
Good day. I haven't seen you in Bewley before.
I'm just visiting.
Lovely. It's nice to see a new face. We don't get many visitors. My name's Henry. Henry Long.
Nice to meet you, Henry. Thomasina Bateman.
Wonderful. What a treat.
You seem in a good mood, Mr. Long.
It's just lovely to see a new face. Where are you from, Miss Bateman?
Originally, a small town on the outskirts of Derby, Mr. Long, though I currently reside in London.
London? I've never met anyone from London. How very exciting. Have you lived there a long time?
It's been quite a few years now, yes.
I've heard that the air there is so heavy with smoke, it makes it hard to breathe. Is that true?
Some days.
Oh, you must miss the fresh northern air. Well, you've got that in Bewley. No factories out here. Such things are a blight on his creation. I were born in this very home I stand in front of. Bewley is in my blood. Why would I ever want to leave? Especially now I can meet new folk thanks to the railway line.
I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
Oh, Mr. Price, my lovely neighbour. I'm afraid you've just missed him.
Curses.
I saw him wheeling a large crate into his storeroom just there.
It must be mine. I really need it.
Have a look through the window to see if it's yours.
Where did Mr. Price go?
I don't know. The man were in a hurry. I know he has family in Bakewell.
That's miles away. Did he leave by foot?
No, by horse. He must be a few miles down the road by now.
Curses. When will Mr. Price be back?
He didn't say. Could be tonight, could be a few days.
How infuriating.
I told him I'd keep watch of his storeroom, and I'm a man of my word, Miss Bateman. I shall not budge from this spot.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, funny old fellow. I hear he lives way out on the moors somewhere.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not for a long while now that you mention it. Why do you ask?
It's a long story, but I was to meet him in Bewley. He invited me here.
Well, I must thank him when I see him for inviting such an enchanting young woman.
You flatter me, Mr. Long. I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
One of those old burial hills?
Yes. Do you know where it is?
Believe it or not, I haven't set foot on the moor since I were a child.
Why is that?
I've got all I need right here in Bewley. And we're all truly blessed with the railway station, which brings us lovely new faces.
Your opinion of the railway station differs widely from your fellow townsfolk, Mr. Long. I've not met anyone particularly keen on it.
That railway line is the start of a new era for Bewley, mark my words. There's much to protect here, but we need new blood. I hope that some of you visitors will actually stay here permanently.
Why is that?
So I have new friends to talk to. Some people here don't want any new friends. Cyril Farnaby, the miserable old sod, is the worst offender.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Cyril. He really dislikes the railway station.
Absolutely miserable he is. I've tried to convince him many times that the station will help Bewley. He just doesn't understand.
I met him last night in the Plough and Furrow.
Aye, the scene of our many debates. Blimey. I could go for an ale right now, actually.
Can I buy you a drink?
Really?
No. Wait. Do you think Mr. Kemp will let me open a tab?
Perhaps. You could always ask him. I shouldn't leave anyway. Mr. Price is relying on me to keep watch of his storeroom.
Goodbye.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm sorry to ask this, Mr. Kemp, but could I please open a tab?
Still not in your purse?
I'm afraid not. My assistant hasn't arrived as planned, so I find myself in a bind. He must have put the money in my crate, which is currently being held in Mr. Price's storeroom.
Well, as you know, I run an honest establishment here, and I do trust you. So yes, I'll open an account for you, to be settled at the end of your stay.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Now then, I'll be needing something of value as a deposit.
I thought you said you trusted me.
Aye, it's not personal, lass. One can never be too cautious.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Will you accept this silver cross pendant as a deposit?
Can I take a closer look at it? Aye, silver. That'll do.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Can I get you something to drink?
Not right now, Mr. Kemp.
As you were.
Complimentary matches. Useful. There's only one match left, though. The candle has melted. It's not much use anymore. Perhaps Mr. Kemp will replace it this evening. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me. Hello.
Good day.
Can I buy you a drink, Henry?
Really?
Really? We can talk more at the inn.
But I told Mr. Price I'd keep watch of his storeroom.
Doors have locks for this very reason.
You're right. One drink won't take long. I shall take you up on your offer, Miss Bateman.
Let us make our way.
The rocket weren't Stevenson's only design, you know. Before that, there were the Blucher and the Locomotion. But my favourite would have to be the Lancashire Witch. I believe he built that in 1828. In Newcastle, of course. Well, that's me. I better be off.
Wait!
Ta-ra, Miss Bateman.
I couldn't even get a word in.
He likes a good chinwag, our Henry.
He certainly does. day.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina.
George Crozier. Can I help you?
Do you know of a local landmark named Hobbs Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Good day to you, Cyril.
I'll do, lass.
What are you up to, Cyril?
Keeping an eye on that bleeding railway station. That's what. Thankfully, no one got off the last train.
Really hate that station, don't you?
Oh, I curse Midland Railway for bringing their damn line through Bewley. This is our town, our land. 'Tis no place for outsiders.
So you keep saying.
Anyway, no more trains today. Almost time to celebrate with an ale, I think.
I could do with one myself.
You paying?
No. What do you make of Henry Long?
An idiot who thinks that station's a good idea. Can you imagine? Strangers pouring into Bewley. Turns the stomach, that does.
Maybe he has a point. You could travel.
Bah! You're an outsider. I'd expect you to have such a bad opinion. But Henry, he's a Bewley lad. We've had the odd Barney or two in the pub over it all.
I can imagine. Can I buy you a drink, Cyril?
Now?
Yes.
Go on then, lass.
Follow me.
So then, he turns around and says, "Why is a dog?" And I says, and he says,
Very droll, Cyril. Well, it's been a pleasure, but I must be off.
Aye, lass. Ta for the drink. You're not too bad for an outsider. Ah.
Hello.
Good day.
Goodbye.
Don't be a...
Hello.
Good day.
Can I buy you another drink?
I suppose one more ale won't hurt. I shall take you up on your offer, Miss Bateman.
Let us make our way.
To think, if that station hadn't been built, we would never have met. Blessed be the Midland Railway.
Idiot! That station is the worst decision this village has ever made!
Cyril Farnaby, a miserable man with miserable ideas. I will change your mind even if it kills me.
Locked. I need to get inside without attracting too much attention. Kenneth taught me this useful trick. A hairpin is much more than a hair accessory. A few wiggles and this lock should spring right open. I've snapped the hairpin in the process, but I managed to unlock the door. Let's open this envelope. There's a note inside. How very frustrating. I wonder what happened. I'd better get this to the alley before Mr. Long comes back. Moving a fully laden crate through the village square was no easy task. Somehow, no one was there to witness it. But I didn't give up, because I never give up, do I, Mother? I am as stubborn as my father, as you liked to remind me. Wait. Where is my money? It's not in here. Kenneth, you absolute liability of a man. It looks like everything else is in here. Picks, specimen trays, shovels. Oh, my chisel, I'll take that. Ah, my lantern. It feels light. There mustn't be any oil inside. I'll leave the rest in the crate. Stanley assured me things would be safe here. No money and no assistant. This is most inconvenient. Still, I've been in worse situations. I've got a tab at the inn for now. I'll worry about money later. I must find that Barrow and get on with the excavation. Good day.
Yes?
Thanks for your time.
Aye.
It looks like the same make as my own. Alas, it is not mine to take. Good day.
Yes?
I was wondering if you might be able to spare some lantern oil.
I don't have much to spare, lass. Paraffin is as rare as hen's teeth in these parts. How much coin do you have?
None, I'm afraid.
If you're in a bind, I can trade you a small amount.
A trade, you say?
Aye.
What can I trade you for some lantern oil?
Surprise me.
What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
His lordship commands much respect around here, lass. Keeps me busy with work. Why do you ask?
Just curious. I noticed your spectacular fossil specimen.
Oh, aye. I collect them. This one is called an...
Ammonite.
I'm impressed, lass.
From the Jurassic period, I'd venture.
Do you collect them too, then?
My true interests lie in comparatively modern history.
Oh, aye. Well, I do love a fossil. It's important to remember that we all end up in the soil eventually.
Quite. What can I...
Surprise?
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. When do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be naught to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
Thanks for your time.
Aye, speak to you later.
Splendid. I've managed to extract it in one piece. Would you trade some of your paraffin for this fossilized ammonite, Mr. Crozier?
Now then, 'tis a beauty that. It looks familiar. I'll take it off your hands.
Wonderful.
Let me fetch some paraffin from inside. There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. My lantern is fueled and ready for action. Right, let's put this lantern to good use. Jane, come out at once. Goodness me! Jane!
Silly, what are you doing in that smelly old badger's hole?
You were in there.
No, I weren't.
Yes, you were.
Not true. I was hiding behind that tree over there. I got bored of waiting for you.
So where can I find Hobbs Barrow?
Go north from the church graveyard, up the hill. You'll see some muddy fields on the horizon. That's Mr. Bryden's farm. Hobbs Barrow is there. Don't tell any grown-ups I told you. And thanks for getting Myrtle back.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jane. You've been a great help. As I trudged through the barren moors, with only the odd sheep for company, I reflected upon my visit to Bewley thus far, the enigmatic Mr. Shoulder and his puzzling disappearance, the townsfolk of Bewley who had made it as difficult as they could for me to find Hobbs Barrow, the suspicion, the wariness in their eyes. Only now I know it was actually fear. In the end, it was the innocence of a child, young Jane, that condemned me to my fate.
What do you want?
My name is Thomasina Bateman. Mr. Bryden, I presume.
Aye? What do you want, lass?
I understand Hobbs Barrow is located on your land.
Oh, well, yes. Why'd you ask?
I am an antiquarian, Mr. Bryden. I'm writing a volume on the Barrows of England.
Oh, I suppose you'll be wanting to dig about it.
If at all possible, Mr. Bryden. I was invited to Bewley by Mr. Leonard Shoulder, who told me such an excavation would be possible.
Leonard Shoulder? Ha! I haven't seen him in years. The last I heard he were on death's door. There's to be no more digging there, lass. Not since it went so badly last time.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Bryden.
I live here with my wife, and I might be long in tooth, but I can still run this farm without too much help.
Was there a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Aye. My brother dug it up. Must have been, 25 years ago. You see, whatever he found inside, well, it drove him mad.
Oh?
Aye. I moved back here to look after him. Poor bastard hanged himself not long after.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bryden. That's terrible.
Aye. Time passes, but they were
What did your brother find?
Samuel. Samuel were his name.
Sorry, what did Samuel find in the barrow?
I don't know. But something went wrong. Afterward, he could barely speak. You couldn't make out a word like.
That must have been hard.
He lost a hand in that excavation too, you know.
Goodness me, how?
I try hard not to speculate on what might have happened, lass. I'd see him disappear into that barrow, dragging timber in with him. You'd hear him hammering away for hours. I offered him help, but he'd have none of it. Soon enough, he blocked the entrance off. To look at it now, you'd never know the thing we dug up. The landers reclaimed it.
Who else was involved in the excavation?
2 others, I believe. Outsiders, perhaps. I can't say for sure. I think they left town pretty swiftly afterwards. I lived in Bakewell at the time. I only moved back here to look after Samuel. I took over the farm when he passed away.
I see. What can you tell me about your farm?
Samuel's fair to side. We're a fortunate family. The soil is fertile here. Crops grow without too much trouble. All the other farmers round here raise livestock, even Lord Panswick. We grow feed for him.
Most fortunate, Mr. Bryden. Is your wife home?
She's out in fields, lass, pulling weeds. The curse of such fertile soil. 40 years we've been married. I couldn't do it without her, you see.
How splendid.
Aye, my wife is a fine woman. Are you married, lass?
No. I've had my fair share of proposals, Mr. Bryden, but that's not the life for me.
Marriage is an important institution. You'll find a man one day.
I manage rather well without one, Mr. Bryden. You haven't seen Mr. Shoulder for some time?
I hear about him now and then, but it must be a good few years since I set eyes on him.
He hasn't been here to visit Hobbs Barrow?
Not to my knowledge. I heard he's beset by ailments. Don't leave his home often.
How odd. I assumed he'd spoken to you about my visit.
Not at all.
What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
He keeps us going. Most of our crops go to feed his animals.
What is he like?
Oh, I've hardly laid eyes on him. He sends his workers here to pick up the crops.
I see. You say Mr. Shoulder is at death's door. What exactly ails him?
I'm unsure. It's just what I've heard. I wouldn't want to speculate on matters that are not my business.
Mr. Bryden, may I please have your permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
No. Have you not been listening, lass? Samuel found something in there that's best left to rot. No digging here, lass.
Wouldn't you like to find out more about what Samuel found in there?
Perhaps. But Samuel boarded up that barrow for a reason. You don't want to tempt the same fate, lass.
Perhaps I can at least see Hobbs Barrow.
I suppose you've come a long way to be here, lass.
All the way from London, Mr. Bryden.
Have you any proof of all you've told me?
You wish to see proof of what, Mr. Bryden?
I can't let any Tom, Dick or Harry wander around me fields. What proof have you of your claims?
Thanks for your time.
Ta-ra now.
Here is proof that Mr. Shoulder invited me to Bewley in order to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Leonard making bold promises, I see. Don't make me regret this, but yes, you can have a look at it.
Thank you.
Any road. Once you've set your eyes on it, you won't be wanting to outdo with it. The place gives one a queer feeling.
So where can I find it?
Through that gate to your left. Just head straight across the top to the field there. After 10 minutes or so, you'll see Barrow, set on a hill ahead.
Thank you again, Mr. Bryden. I really do appreciate it. I probably should have brought my umbrella. AR. I haven't a clue what that could be referring to. Finally, here it is. Hobbs Barrow. indeed a barrow of a most unusual rectangular form. I've not seen something like this since West Kennet Long Barrow. Yes, this shall make a fine entry for my book. What secrets do you conceal, I wonder? That smell, earthy and sweet.
Three, 2, 1. You can open your eyes now, Thomasina. Come. Are you ready for your first excavation?
Yes, Daddy.
Capital. Make sure you remember everything I've taught you. I have a feeling you might find something special.
How exciting.
I'll be watching from the steps, my little bird. Good luck.
Thank you, Daddy. Now I'm ready. Nothing here. No treasures here. Treasure! Daddy, I found the treasure! Look!
Well done, little bird. Your first successful excavation. That urn you're holding is very old and precious. Take good care of it, all right?
I will, Daddy. I promise.
Darkness falls quickly here. I should make my way back to the inn. It's late. I don't wish to make the trek. I shouldn't disturb him at this late hour. I don't wish to risk waking it up.
Good evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley. I found Mr. Shoulders home, thanks to the help of Father Roach.
Wonderful. So you've met our vicar then?
Yes, I did. An interesting character.
Indeed. So, did old Leonard apologise for his absence?
Not quite. He wasn't home.
What is that man playing at?
You tell me. What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
A most charming man, Miss Bateman. He looks after us here, a good fellow.
Where does he live?
Panswick Manor, on the moors. No visitors allowed. His lordship likes his privacy.
I found Hobbs Barrow.
Oh, remember what I said, Miss Bateman? There are stories connected to that place.
Yes, stories you won't elaborate on, I might add. Don't worry about me, Stanley. I'm quite capable of warding off imagined fiends.
I have no doubt, but please leave that place be.
I've come this far, there's no turning back now.
That's precisely what worries me.
My assistant has not arrived as planned.
Oh, is everything all right?
I'm not entirely sure.
Am I to keep a room for him just in case?
If you could hold it for one more night, Mr. Kemp.
As you wish.
Henry Long can talk, can't he?
He's a colourful character. The man drinks like a fish.
He certainly does.
I've seen him drink this place dry and still be up to tend his garden at sunrise. The man can truly hold his ale.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Time for bed. Tomorrow I shall convince Mr. Bryden to allow me to begin my excavation.
Miss Bateman. How are you?
Tired.
Gonna buy you a drink?
One won't hurt.
Excellent. I feel bad about what happened last night. I'm sorry I can't remember it.
That's all right, Mr. Tillett. Alcohol can do all sorts of damage to one's memory.
I was thinking that maybe if we had another drink tonight, I might remember what happened.
I'm not sure that's logical.
But worth trying?
I don't need any further convincing.
Take your seat, Miss Bateman. I shall return with the goods.
To Leonard's shoulder.
Wherever he may be. I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes?
Why did Leonard's shoulder ask you to dig up Hobbs Barrow?
Despite his disappearing act the previous evening, not to mention his questionable sobriety, I decided Mr. Tillett was to be my ally. I spoke again of Mr. Shoulder's letter, his proposed excavation, and my status as an antiquarian and barrow digger. He was fascinated and quite excited at the prospect of meeting the soon-to-be author of a real-life book.
You must find all manner of riches on your digs.
Barrow digging is not all success, Mr. Tillett. Often I'll come across the likeliest of sites steeped in promise. We set to work with shovel and pick and all the other barrow-opening paraphernalia you can imagine. Every stone carefully taken down, every shovelful of earth put dutifully through the sieve, and we find nothing. Or you may find a miserable remnant of animal bone or a shard of pottery hardly to be recognised from the peat in which it decayed. Sometimes it's as if some Neolithic humorist prepared an elaborate practical joke for your special benefit.
It still sounds much more exciting than spending your days sitting in England's most remote railway station.
Are you all right, Mr. Tillett?
I've had another argument with Agnes.
Your wife?
Aye. She didn't want me coming to the plough tonight. Truth is, I've been drinking my life away since my mother passed.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry for your loss.
You're kind, Miss Bateman. Thank you. It's been a year since the old girl left us. She had a horrible end, wasting away, day by day. Consumption got her. She was naught but bones by the end. I can't get the image out of my mind. She were everything to me.
I'm so sorry.
I apologise for going on, Miss Bateman. It's not appropriate.
Don't worry, Mr. Tillett. I appreciate your openness.
Used to love going for walks out in the moor, my mother and I, ever since I were a little one. She get a tear in her eye as she looked out upon it. She loved this land. I asked Mr. Crozier to build a bench, which we've erected at her favourite lookout spot on the moors. Margaret's Lookout, we called it. Aye.
That's a beautiful tribute.
Aye. If you take a seat there, do keep her in your thoughts, won't you?
Of course, Mr. Tillett. I can relate in some manner. My father had an accident when I was very young. He's still alive, but he can neither move nor speak. He spends his entire life bedbound and incapable of communicating or looking after himself in any way.
How dreadful.
He was a barrow digger himself, an antiquarian of some renown. He taught me so much, even though I was so young. I think writing this book is my way of carrying on his work. It helps me reclaim those earlier memories of him, and I visit him often to tell him all about my excavations.
Can he hear you?
I've no idea. The doctors aren't sure. I'd do anything to make him better, Mr. Tillett. I'd do anything to bring him back to the man he was. I am in a state of suspended mourning for a man caught between life and death.
Dreadful. Just dreadful.
We all have our weaknesses. Mine just happens to be my father.
And what of your mother?
A cold woman. We haven't talked in quite some time. I think she blamed me for my father's accident somehow.
You were but a child.
Indeed. She thus saw it fit that a governess should raise me as she spent her life grieving for my father.
Well then, I propose a toast.
A toast to what?
A shared sense of loss.
I'll toast to that, Arthur. Now then, enough of this wallowing.
Let us be merry. Another round.
I really shouldn't. But I did. And another after that. And another. The frustrations of my visit to Bewley slipped away with each swill of Stanley's finest ale. We had great fun that night, Mr. Tillett and I. I treasure the memory.
Go on then. Let's hear those pipes.
Mustn't.
Sing the song.
You're incorrigible.
Please. You'll make a sad man happy.
Oh, all right then. Clasps, celts and arrowheads I'll try to claw within my clutch, and if a shield I should espy, I'll vow there ne'er was such.
With popish tricks and relics rare, the priests their flocks do gull. In casting out the earth take care. Huzzah! I've found a skull!
Hello, Thomasina.
What is this? Who are you?
I'm the one that saved your father.
What do you mean?
You were here 25 years ago.
My father?
You were deep down with the others. You were there, and something went wrong. I dragged him out.
Impossible.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
I don't understand.
Believe my words. You'll find proof in morning. Now go. One more thing. This is not a dream.
Goodness, that was a terrible sleep.